in a very deep bass with a deep New York accent. And he's telling me, oh son, I can put you on. I can make you rich. I can make you famous. I can give you everything you want. What do you want? Women? What do you want? Money? Power? So, and this voice is speaking like he's talking from an intercom. I mean, it's loud.
Guys, this confession is loud, very, very loud. See, a music artist confessing what has just happened. Guys, this music industry is just something. Even gospel artists need to join United for their songs to be rightly promoted, go viral.
I did not answer. I didn't give him an answer. And I just walked out and I acted as if I never heard anything. The devil was literally trying to initiate me himself. And I came back to Kenya and I decided, forget about all this, this deep demonic stuff. Let me come back to Kenya and just do my thing, So when I get back, I try to just continue where I left off, compare days and let's get back in the studio. Let's make music. I have beats. I have connections now in the States. I'm ready to go, But amazingly, I did not realize until it was very late that when you say no to the devil, he begins to shut down things in your life. Anything that you had now, he begins to cut it off. So those connections that I used to have that were so easy, studio time, producers, relationships, he cut all of them off. And different things that would happen, that just misfortune following you everywhere you go. Like you go to the studio, the lights go off. You leave, the lights come back on. And I go to the ATM, I put my card in the ATM swallows my card. I was like, what? I mean, I could list it. I could write them out on a list. The things that were going crazy every day. Money that was usually coming in, now that money is not available. Everything, yeah. And the design is to bring you to a place of desperation so that you say, yeah, whatever you want, I'll do it. So it continued like that until I met a certain lady. And the enemy has a way of bringing men into darkness by using ladies. He'll use whoever he can get. So this lady told me that, hey, Bamboo, things are going crazy in your life. There's a certain guy who can help you out. I'll talk to him and then I'll get back to you. I was like, okay, whatever, She wanted to manage me at the time, so I was okay with it. So she introduces me to a gentleman by the name of Dr. Jafari. Dr. Jafari hails from Mombasa. He's actually Tanzanian, but he hails from Mombasa. She says, have a conversation with this guy. So I spoke with him over the phone, and this guy is telling me everything I'm going through in detail. That's why I tell believers and I tell people, don't follow after a prophet just because he knows your details and can read your mail.
Yeah.
Because the devil can do that too.
Okay.
So a witch or a false prophet will function by a familiar spirit. Now, a familiar spirit is called a familiar spirit because they are familiar with your situation, with your circumstances. And because they usually work with demons, and demons are very well coordinated, they're organized. So that demon that has been afflicting you all this time will simply communicate to the demon that's inside this witch, and give him your details. So this witch will tell you everything.
And it's the truth.
And it's the truth. Yeah, this guy, Dr. Jafari, was telling me everything. So I said, wow. So he said, now that these things are happening in your life, you need to come see me immediately before things get worse. Witchcraft is nasty. Witchcraft is disgusting. Witchcraft is repulsive. So the things were in there look like something that looks like maybe an egg, maybe another thing that looks like a tomato without the skin. You know how, like, if you peel a tomato, it looks like a ball with veins. Okay, then there's a rosary, the Catholic rosary, the beads with the cross. It's inside there also. And then there's like what looked like a white string. So as I'm following this white string, come to find out this is a tail for a chameleon. It's the tail of a chameleon. And the chameleon's mouth is wide open like this. So it was nasty. It was disgusting. So Jafari begins to explain the things that we're looking at. He takes a pen and he's lifting up the things that we're looking at. And he's saying, haba tukona, and he's explaining what we have. So, and then the way he understands what it is, but I have no idea what I'm looking at. And then that thing is laughing. It laughed. It was laughing the whole time. Every time he lifted an item, it would laugh and then it would explain what that item was for. So the story was that specific items were paid for by my haters to lock me down and to prevent me from being able to excel. So one item was a sacrifice so that I wouldn't be able to travel. Another item was a sacrifice so that my money would be frozen up. The chameleon was so that my music would not go anywhere. And things like that. And true enough, every representation there represented something that was happening in my life. But those things were not the reason why they were happening. This was just witchcraft to pull me in. The reason why those things were happening was because, one, I'm living in sin. Two, I'm under the influence of demon spirits that don't want me to excel. And Satan puts people in desperate situations so that they can do desperate things. Three, I did not know the word of God. So here I am participating in divination, not knowing what I'm doing. You see, the lack of light, the lack of knowledge really brings people into destruction. And there's people who are practicing this stuff right now. And they're being told that your enemies or your family members have put witchcraft on you.
Because it's always going to be your family or your haters.
Yes, yes. So they'll pull you in by the million. They'll pull people in easily. And they'll show them the items that represent their affliction. So he explained all of those different items, what they represented, and the remedy. Now, the remedy of how to deal with these things is to buy an animal, sacrifice it, and pour blood on these things to extinguish what they had done. The animal that I was supposed to buy was a camel. I asked him, Jafari, where am I going to get a camel from? He said, don't worry about that. That's our department. You just provide the money. Now, the amazing thing is, my money has been being frozen up everywhere I go. The money is frozen up. Deals are getting cut off. But when I went to look for the 100,000 to buy the camel, all of a sudden the money is available. The first try, I just tried. I just made a phone call and said, hey, can I get an advance on a business deal? And these are the same deals that were all failing. But this one went through easily. So it went through. Money was deposited in my bank account. I go to the bank branch in Mombasa, withdraw the money and give him the cash. He told me we would go to a beach at night, sacrifice this camel there. I said, how are you going to make a camel agree to be slaughtered? He said, don't worry about that. He said, Ntamsomea dua, something like that. Ntamsomea dua, or something like that. He said he'll read from the Quran and make the camel sleep or just give itself over, and he'll slaughter it easily. So I said, okay, look, what time is that thing supposed to be? He said 4 p.m., 5 p.m. there, towards the evening. I said, boss, is there any way you can do this thing while I'm somewhere else? He said, yeah. He said they were going to do it at the beach. So around 4 p.m., 5 p.m. towards the evening. So I said, I'll be at the movies while you're doing this thing. You go through the process, you have the money, go buy the camel and do everything for me while I'm there, while I'm elsewhere. So he does it. But the strange thing is that while he was doing that ritual, I was watching a movie, X-Men, or I think The Avengers. Yeah, I was watching The Avengers. And while I'm watching this movie, something begins to try to take over my mind, like I'm about to faint. And I know I slept the night before I slept fine, See, I slept and I kept on looking under the, I kept on looking under the bed to make sure nothing was coming out. But I slept fine and I woke up fine, so I know I've slept. So where's this sleepiness, this sudden sleepiness coming from? And I knew I can't just pass out, while I'm in the theater. So I fought it. I tried to fight it. I tried to, just shake my head. No, it's not working. And it was getting worse. Every time I resisted, it was getting stronger and stronger.